All right. So did you guys see a Battleground?
I saw most of it.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too.
Some of the things that just crossed through my mind, and they're just random things. I like Naomi's belt colors. You know how it's
Oh,
really
it's amazing.
colorful? Yeah.
That's an amazing. I wonder how they did that, man. That's like a technological marvel, and I hope that's something they're going to merchandise.
That was sweet. Yeah. Bro, here's another thing. You know how I can tell that Jinder is on the juice?
Oh.
Okay. Anytime that he lifts his arms, look around his nipples, you can tell he has gyno. And I've been seeing it. It's very, very visible. I still love Owens walking around his face. That's it. That's like.
Did you guys know that Konnan, when Owens lost the title at Madison Square Garden, he blacked out his Twitter account, like he just made his profile image just black as a protest against Styles winning?
No, yeah, he's always doing funny stuff, bro. Did you see the New Day match, Di?
Yes, I did. That was a really good match.
That was really good.
Very good match. The Usos look strong. Some good false finishes. And you know what I liked about this match, and you'll appreciate this, Di. They both came out looking better than they came in, which is what you always want. You know what I'm saying? And Uso showed a lot of personality in this feud, and maybe next might be wee woo wee woo.
Well, they showed the Fashion Files.
Right. What was going on there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked to me like it could have possibly been an alien abduction,
Tremendous.
which might lead to an alien invasion angle.
Dave Meltzer made the joke that or maybe the serious observation that he thought WWE was trying to parody how like the season or the finales of all these different shows always suck, so they wanted to make the finale of that big angle with the Fashion Files suck because they promised an ending to it and then there's no ending, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Well, let's see what happens. But to me, I'm a big Nakamura fan, especially when he was in New Japan. He hasn't really hit his stride. I don't like DQs unless they're really well done, and not as a way to have somebody not do the job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wasn't happy with that. And to me, Nakamura is special, like Sasha, Bailey, AJ, like to get behind him, pushed him, bro. I mean, I just feel like they haven't even done nothing with Nakamura. At first, I wanted Charlotte to win the women's match because to me, she's the best all-around performer. But I think, is her name Natalie or Natalia? I always get her name wrong. Natalia. She's always been looked over, so I'm glad that she's getting the chance, you know?
And I always think it's weird, like, are they ever going to stop just putting all the girls on the brand in one segment or in one match? Yeah. Like, why can't people – think about it. Lana's been crushed like 3 times straight going for the title shot.
Bro, Lana looked incredible.
In 3 weeks, though, so why is she even in the mix to fight among 5 people to get a shot? She's not in the running. She had 3 title shots and was crushed each time.
I didn't like the way wasn't thrilled about the Cena Rusev match going in and less thrilled coming out. You know, brutal. And then of course, what did you guys think of this Punjabi match?
Oh.
Bro, it was how long was it?
It was forever.
That was like one of the longest matches I've ever seen.
Bro, can you imagine sitting there? How do you see through the how could you see through that?
They said that was one of the biggest complaints, that you couldn't see anything through it. And then even worse, when you throw someone into it, it's silent. It doesn't make any noise.
Right, doesn't make any noise, bro. I mean, it was just, the doors locking. That was kind of JoJo.
The 4 different doors and the audience. No one's aware of these weird rules.
Bro, I just think that like they probably laid this out, and it's one of these matches where you just look and like there's not a lot of history, so there's not a lot of like a former Punjabi prison matches you can look at. They probably looked at the spots that they did, created some new spots, and probably didn't really take into account like, wow, this is going to take a lot of time. Like when they're laying this out, like I guarantee you that when they were laying that out, there's no way that they thought that match was going to last that long.
Bro, and they've just buried those Bollywood guys because this is a 3rd pay-per-view in a row that they just get bounced around, like J-Brones, and so this guy can get the win. And to make an already, I don't know what Kali is even doing in the mix, but that's not must-see TV.
It's like flat on top of flat, and nothing worse than the big finale of the show being the flattest moment of the night,
Yeah, it was not a particularly good show. I think New Day's the one thing I liked that I can remember. That might have been about it.
Yeah. But then again, bro, like I keep saying, here's the thing: the online, the noise. Number one, people are actually getting on Lana because they don't think she's a good enough worker. And I'm like, that to me is like, dude, come on. It's like, who cares? The chick is like super hot. You know what I'm saying?
The fans clearly care.
I mean, some of them do. I mean, there's no way. You can't possibly. Go ahead.
How women's wrestling's changed, because the other day I was scrolling through something, right? And there was a picture of, remember Kat?
Stacey Carter.
Yeah.
And the one that was married to Goldust, Terry Runnels. And they were like in a bathing suit match, and they both had like kind of like thongs, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think girls of this generation would do that. You know what I'm saying? And so back then it went from scantily clad to, that period I hated so much where they were called divas and none of them could work and they were all hot, to what we have now, which is a high work rate. But right. You can always have a sexy chick out there and teach her. You know what I'm saying? I think
teach her and use her correctly, right?
And I also think
fast track her.
They should have They should have never fast tracked her, and I also think they never should have even broken her up with Rusev. I thought her as a power secretary with the red, power suit, right? And Rusev, that was a good act.
No, $1 million. Why break that up? Let them do. They can do intergender stuff. They can do a million things together that will be better than what she's doing now.
Not to mention, when they were together, that there was the package looks better.
Looks
Rusev
great.
Rusev like now they're going kind of like the nationalist,
right? Which has been done to death, and people don't really care.
It's very campy.
Right. And there's no heat on Bulgaria.
Right, and he's got the trunks on that say "brute." It's just like, bro, he's like a very cartoonish figure right now when he could be, when with him with the girl, you could have produced like an Ivan Drago type package, where from Rocky IV, where the guy's dressed very nice out there. He's got his hot chick. He's from he's a foreigner, but we don't have to put him in the flag. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. It's just like but I'm saying it could have been a character with more realistic depth than he has right now.
Yeah, he's like a caricature, of the night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's almost like they did this one thing where it was like LAX was out there and it was like the 4th of July, right? So
it's Hughesy. Hello.
Right. So I did this thing where I took a flag, and I think I forgot, I said the flag wasn't worth anything. It was a rag, and they had like this one guy in the audience waving the flag, and I told him if he didn't stop waving the flag, I was going to kick his ass. And then all of a sudden they put on like this military music, and these two guys come out. One guy used to be Crimson. I think that still might be his name. I don't know what the other guy's name is, but they're called like the Veterans of War. And they were coming out to like military music, and they're dressed up in fatigues. And I just kept thinking, man, this is so JoJo. It's like from the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And, the fans kind of popped because it was the 4th of July and we did the flag thing and I got cheap heat. But I was like, man, this is like really campy. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's like you still have some of that old school thinking left in the industry where they still, they do like, instead of doing real cool, hip, progressive, modern characters, they're doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
Disco had pointed out to me that something very shocking was trending on Twitter. Do you have any comment about that, Disco?
I didn't point that out. Joe did. Joe said
okay.
that.
What is it?
Joe, what was that trending?
# Road Dog.
For the having a bad pay-per-view?
Yep.
Bro, I'm pretty sure that it wasn't his choice to pick Jinder Mahal or Great Khali for this angle. That might be Vince. And
or a Punjabi prison or any of the limitations.
That might be Vince or whoever's above him saying, look, this is what we want. Because I think he's done a really good job on SmackDown. And for us to, I'm not saying it couldn't have been him.
Well, let me tell you, this is not his fault. Okay, but this is what happens every single time they do the brand split. Okay, the talent gets diluted. You split them on both shows. They end up wrestling each other every single week for God knows how long, because there's not you basically you got half a talent roster on your show. You know, so it's like, bro, it's like that is a very difficult situation to book when you just don't really have a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? And then the people are getting tired of seeing the same. It's like, well, this is the roster. This is what we have to book with. And like, bro, I just say it every single year. I've said for 10 years, the brand split is a terrible idea because this is what happens to your TV. It's just too many. You get stuck in too many angles. Well, regardless of how good it is, the people just
then why aren't they adding more guys? Why aren't they adding more guys to each roster? There's a lot of guys that are ready in.
They have, and then these guys come up, and I guess Vince doesn't like them.